Welcome to Somerset County Library's North Star Digital Literacy Program on digital footprints. The information shared in this presentation is taken from curriculum provided by North Star Digital Literacy. So in this program, we are going to talk about what a digital footprint is, why a digital footprint is important, the benefits of having a digital footprint, and sources of digital footprints. So take a look at this picture. What do you think is going on in the picture? Do you see a problem that might be, let's start over. So take a look at this picture and think about what is going on in this picture. Do you see a problem? Do you think this man is going to get the job? So in the picture, we see a gentleman that looks to be in a job interview. And the one interviewer is saying, "We're looking for someone who is responsible." And in his mind, he is thinking about a Facebook post that shows him passed out, presumably drunk. So if the interviewers were to see that Facebook post, does that give them a sense that this is a responsible person? Do you use social media to share pictures and information with family and friends? What apps do you use? What kinds of things do you share? So what is a digital footprint? Every time you use the internet to do things like share a picture, search for something to buy, or find directions to a new place, you leave a trail of digital footprints behind. Your digital footprint is the trail or path of information you leave when you use the internet. Your digital footprint is created by things you do online. Visiting websites and searching for things online creates a digital footprint. For example, when I visit a website, it is stored in my browsing history. Your browsing history is a record of the sites you have visited in the past. So there are two different types of digital footprints. There are what are called unintentional digital footprints, which are created as we use the internet for things like shopping and visiting websites. Some websites can identify where you are or what you are interested in, and you may notice advertisements popping up later as a result. Intentional digital footprints are trails of information we know we are sharing online. For example, when we post pictures or videos on a social media account, we want to share personal information with friends and family. Some other examples of intentional digital footprints are commenting on websites or videos, writing posts on public forums, or sending emails. While you may have planned to share information like this for a specific reason, you may not have planned for other people to see it, for it to last forever, or for people to use it in other ways. Social media apps and websites like Facebook and Instagram are great ways to stay in touch with friends and family. Things we share on social media are an important part of our digital footprint. Social media is a great way to make an online identity. Your social media posts might be seen by potential employers or people you don't know. According to a survey by CareerBuilder, 70% of employers look at an applicant's social media and online presence before hiring. The information employers see can help them decide to hire an applicant. If employers see positive posts or good posts about an applicant's qualifications, they might want to hire them. However, if employers see negative content on a job applicant's social media posts, they might not hire the applicant. A negative digital footprint can hurt someone's reputation. On the other hand, a professional digital footprint can help someone give a positive impression. Digital footprints are important because they are a part of how we present ourselves to the world. Before applying for a new job, it is a good idea to clean up your digital footprint. Have you Googled yourself recently? What does your digital footprint look like? Let's take a look at this post here. Aaron plays soccer every Saturday. He wants to share a picture with his family. He posts the following picture on his Facebook account. Later, Aaron notices that someone named Sierra, a person he doesn't know, posted a comment on his picture. Sierra posts, Where do you play soccer? I'd love to play sometime." So this is an example of an intentional digital footprint. So what was Aaron's goal in sharing this post? What was he using the internet for? Which sentence in this text helps you know that? Yes, Aaron was wanting to share a picture with his family. And what does Aaron notice later? He notices that someone that he doesn't even know was commenting on his picture. How do you think Aaron feels about the comment on his post? And why do you think he feels that way? He could feel that it's a potential new friend, or he could feel a little creeped out by, hey, who is this person? And do you think Aaron knows his Facebook account is public? Why or why not? So if Aaron's intention was just to share the picture with his family, he may not know that his Facebook account is public. And there are ways to change that setting, and we'll be talking about those the next time we meet. So it is important to think about both your intentional, your planned, and unintentional, not planned digital footprints. Often what we do online can be seen by others, even if we don't plan it that way. When you visit websites and search online, websites can use technology to track, remember, and follow your activity. Many websites use this information to send you advertisements. For example, if you shop online for socks, you might see ads for socks on other websites too. This tracking can be useful. Your digital footprint can help websites send you ads for products you want to buy. However, some people are uncomfortable with websites learning so much about them. This is especially true if you have to search online for information about private topics like your health. This is an example of unintentional digital footprint. So in this slide, we can see that we'll say Sierra was looking for socks. And then later on, she starts seeing ads pop up for socks. So what was Sierra's goal? Her goal was that she wanted to purchase some socks. And she was using the internet to do that. And what does she notice later? That these ads keep popping up for these items that she was looking for. So why do you think advertisements for socks keep popping up in Sierra's feed? Because the sites that she was looking at were tracking her searches to see what she was looking at. Here is an example of what the browsing history looks like in Chrome. You can see here that I was in my Google account working on a slide presentation, and earlier I was doing a search in the catalog looking at some records. Browsing history is a record of each site you have visited. Browsing histories are just one part of digital footprints. There are many other things we do online that help to make up our digital footprint. For example, social media accounts help to create your digital footprint. Social media websites are places on the internet where you can connect with people around the world and share content. Content is text, it's words, pictures, or videos shared on the internet. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn are all examples of social media. Ricardo was using his work computer to do some searches. This computer is used by multiple people and can be monitored by the company. Sometimes you might not want everyone to see the websites you visited. So looking at this example, we see Ricardo was doing some searches for how to make charts in Excel, a lump on the back of his throat, Excel troubleshooting, and accounting jobs in St. Paul, Minnesota. So sometimes you might not want everyone to see the websites you have visited. So in this example, Ricardo searched for personal health topics. He might not want everyone to see that he was searching to find out more information about a bump on the back of his throat. And probably more importantly, he probably doesn't want his employer to know that he's looking for accounting jobs elsewhere. It is important to think about who can see your browsing history. If you share a computer with other people, they might look at your browsing history. Also, if you use the internet or Wi-Fi at a school or workplace, the people who manage the internet can see your browsing history. So what on this list might Ricardo not want his employer to see? And I gave it away earlier. Probably doesn't want his employer to know that he's looking at accounting jobs. Your browsing history can be useful too if you visit a website again. The browsing history will help your computer fill in the rest of the web address so you don't need to type it again. Depending on your settings, Google can also remember things you searched for. The list of your Google searches is called your search history. And that can make things convenient for when you need to look up something again. So depending on your settings, Google can also remember things that you search for. The list of your Google searches is called your search history. If other people use the same computers after you, they can also see your search history. Also, if you search for some things on Google, you might see ads for similar products on the internet later. So how is your search history an unintentional digital footprint? So when you're doing a search, you're not necessarily thinking that, oh, I'm going to share this with the world and um, everyone can see this and yeah, it's all good. But that's what happens. You may unintentionally share what you're looking for, especially if you're using a public computer or a computer that's shared by other people. They'll be able to see what it is that you were looking at. And we may talk about this later, but if you want to help limit what they see about your searches, you can see in this slide, if you bring up the searches, all you need to do is click on the remove link, and that'll remove that search term from your search history. So I have some true or false questions here. You can think about these. Only you can see your browsing history. False. If you're using a shared computer or you're using an employer's computer, they may have access to your browsing history. If you search for something on Google, you might see ads about the same topic later. True. Your employer cannot see things you search for when you are using company internet or Wi-Fi. And that is false. Your employer can possibly see what you are using the computer for. One way to manage your digital footprint is to delete your browsing history. Then people can't see the websites you visited. It is important to know that even if a computer's browsing history is erased, it can still be seen by police. Employers can also see deleted histories if a work computer is being used. See if I can demo this real quick. Bring up a web browser here. And let me see if I can Go over onto my screen here. If you click on the three dots up at the top of the window, go down to History, delete browsing data, and you can choose to delete the data from the last 15 minutes, the last hour, the last 24 hours, all the data, and you can choose more. I'm just going to say the last 15 minutes. Delete data, and then that will clear your browsing data. Another way to manage your browsing history is to use a private window. When you use a private window, your browser does not save your browsing history. That can also be accessed through the three dots menu options, or when you right-click on the browser icon, there's a menu option in there for opening a private or incognito window. Google lets you delete your previous searches so that other people using the computers can't see what you have been searching for. In this case, you would click on Remove or the X after your search to remove it from the search history. Deleting your search history using a private window and deleting search results only deletes the digital footprint on your computer. However, if you use the internet at work or school, your employer or the school can still see your history. So let's review. How do I delete my browsing history? We go up to those three dots at the top of the browser window, and in the menu, we clicked on we clicked on history, and then we clicked on delete history. How can I open a private window? Again, you can use those three dots at the top of the window and choose to open an incognito window. Or you can right-click on the browser icon and select Open Incognito Window from the menu options. And how can you delete your search history? In Google, you can click on the search bar and the search terms that show up. Click on the remove link behind the search terms. You may have probably noticed that the internet can remember a lot of things about you, things that you do. For example, if you search for a new pair of shoes, you will probably see ads for similar shoes on other websites. Or when you use Google, you will see things you searched for before. Another example is how you can still be logged into a website even after you closed it. Websites use a special technology to recognize or remember your computer and remember things you have done. This technology is called cookies. So unfortunately, they're not something good to eat. Cookies are a special type of file a website sends to your browser. A browser is an application that helps you use the internet. Chrome, Firefox, and Safari are different browsers. When you visit a website, your browser keeps cookies from the website. Websites also send your computer cookies when you do something special like log in. Cookies are like a name tag for your browser. When you visit a website again, the website can read the cookie on your browser to remember who you are and to look up information it has saved about you. This helps the website track or remember your visits. So why do you think websites want to track your visits? You probably want to see possibly what it is that you're looking for, what items get the most searches, um, what time of day most people are shopping, things like that. And how can cookies help you as a user of the internet? It can help you not to have to remember your login information for every website that you go to. So you can bring up the website and it's already open for me. And it can help you find things that you're interested in. So cookies make the internet easier to use. Cookies help websites remember your preferences. Your preferences are the way you like to use things. For example, cookies can help websites remember what language you prefer to use. That way, you don't need to change the language every time you visit the website. Cookies can also make it possible to stay logged into websites. For example, if you are using your personal computer, you don't always have to log out of websites like Gmail or Facebook. If you don't log out, the next time you open the browser, cookies keep you logged in. Cookies can also help you shop online. For example, if you are shopping on Target's website, when you find something you want, you can put it in your shopping cart. And as you continue shopping, the website will remember the things that you put in the shopping cart. Cookies make it possible for the website to remember what items are in that shopping cart. Cookies are a way to make digital footprints. Some of these digital footprints are intentional. Intentional digital footprints are trails of information we know we are sharing online. For example, I might intentionally want to accept cookies to help me stay signed into Google or Facebook. Cookies can also create unintentional footprints. Unintentional digital footprints are trails or paths of information we make online without planning to. For example, companies can use my cookies to show me ads, and I might not want to see a lot of ads. Here's another true or false. Cookies are a special file that websites send to your browser. True. Cookies do not change the ads you see. False, because we said that cookies help show you ads for things that you were looking at. Cookies can remember your preferences, like the language you want to use. And cookies cannot be deleted. False. So those steps that we took to delete our browsing history, if you notice one of those options that was under the deletion menu included cookies. When you visit a website, you might see a message like this asking if you want to accept cookies. Usually it is safe to accept cookies. If you don't trust a website, you can click Deny or Reject. However, remember, the website might not work as well if you do not accept the cookies. This is because the website will not remember your preferences. Here are some questions. Do you have to accept cookies from every website? No. What are some ways that cookies can make it easier to use the internet? It can help keep items in shopping carts, keeps you logged into websites like Gmail, remembers your preferences like language. Your identity is who you are. Your identity is everything that makes you, you. Your identity includes information like your name and birth date. Your identity also includes things that make you unique, like your interests, your job, your likes and dislikes, and your personality. On the internet, you can also create or make and share an online identity. Your online identity is who you are online. It is how you act and what you share on websites and in online communities. Someone's online identity can be very similar or very different from their offline or real-world identity. Most parts of your online identity are intentional digital footprints. Intentional digital footprints are trails of information that we know we are sharing online. Social media platforms are places on the internet where you can make and share content like text, videos, and pictures. Some popular social media platforms are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. You can use social media platforms to show your online identity in lots of ways. For example, many people use social media to share pictures with lots of people, including friends and family. Pictures can tell others information about you, like where you like to go and what you like to do. Social media accounts also show your interests and personality. For example, if you are interested in cooking, you can use a social media account to share pictures of food and recipes. When people see your social media account, they will know that you like to cook. Other people use social media to talk about topics that interest them, like politics. Sometimes people will talk about topics in social media that they rarely talk about in person. There are a lot of places on the internet where you can share your thoughts and opinions. One way to share your opinion is to write reviews. Shopping websites are a common place to leave reviews. A review is your opinion of something you bought. Reading and writing reviews is a useful way to find good products that fit your needs. Another place to share your opinion is an internet forum. An internet forum is a place where people have conversations about a topic by posting public messages. Many internet forums focus on particular topics or interests, like hobbies, TV shows, video games, or sports. There are many popular games that you can play online with other people. In some video games, you can create a character that has a unique name and appearance. Your character can look very different from you and have a different name. This is a way that you can create an online identity that is different from your real-world identity. Playing games is also a way you can meet and connect with people around the world. Your online and offline identities can be very similar. For example, on many social media platforms, most people use their real name on their profile and share basic information about themselves. However, online identities can also be very different from offline identities. For example, when writing online reviews or posting comments online, some people use strong language that they may not use in the real world. You get to make choices around what information to show online, and your choices create your online identity. You should choose privacy settings that are appropriate for what you share on social media. If you share personal information and content on social media, you should have stronger privacy settings and only connect with people you know. Sharing too much information publicly can be dangerous. For example, if you publicly share photos while you are on vacation, strangers could know your house is empty. On the other hand, using lighter privacy settings can be a helpful way to connect with people who share your interest. For example, if I want to connect with people in my community who care about keeping our neighborhood parks free from trash and litter, sharing posts about cleanup events can be a great way to connect with other people who care about similar interests. Even if you have good privacy settings, other people might still see things you post online. For example, someone could take a screenshot of your post and share them with other people. A screenshot is a picture of something on a screen. On Facebook, you control who can see some of your posts. You can make it so everyone on Facebook can see your posts, just your friends, or only specific friends. On Instagram, you can have a public or private account. If you have a public account, everyone on Instagram can see your pictures. If you have a private account, people have to request or ask you if they can see your pictures. On YouTube, you can determine who can see your playlists or subscriptions. You can learn a lot of information about someone by looking at their digital footprint. Every time you use the internet to do things like share a picture, search for something to buy online, or find directions to a new place, you leave a trail of digital footprints behind. A person's digital footprint is the trail of information they leave when they use the internet. By looking at someone's social media account, you might be able to read their basic information, look at their pictures, find their friends and family, and see their interests. If you look at someone's browsing, search, and shopping history, you can learn about what things they like and are interested in. Someone's digital footprint might tell what they want to buy, where they want to go, what they like to do, and who they know. Employers, governments, and businesses use our digital footprints in different ways. Our digital footprints help employers, governments, and businesses accomplish goals. Take a look at these questions and think about the answers. How do you think employers use digital information from job applicants and current employees? Why would they want to? Why might someone's digital footprint be important to them? How do you think governments use digital footprints to learn about citizens? Why would they want to? How do you think businesses use digital footprints to learn about consumers? Why would they want to? When we use the internet, we leave behind a lot of information. On social media platforms, many people share information about themselves through posts and pictures, including their interests, their friends, their political beliefs, and more. In order to shop online, you have to share your name, address, email address, and credit card information. Digital actions online can have real-world consequences. A consequence is something that happens after we do something. A consequence can be good or bad. Many of these consequences are potential consequences. Potential means something could happen, but it doesn't always happen. Consequences can be both negative or positive. For example, if you write something mean or negative about someone, they could see it, and that could hurt your relationship with them. Maintaining a friendly digital footprint online can help you stay connected with friends and make new connections. If you ask for help online, you can get advice from people you trust. When you shop online, businesses will send you ads for things you actually like, rather than seeing ads for things you don't like. The governments can use digital data or online info to help solve crimes. Businesses send targeted ads picked just for you based on your search history. Employers can make hiring decisions after reviewing info from an applicant's social media account. So governments can use data from someone's digital footprint to create a map or timeline of what a person did on a specific day. For example, they might look at a credit card purchase, social media posts, cell phone records, or location map data to see where someone went and what they did. Employers can use social media posts to learn more about an applicant. Employers often say these kinds of things can hurt applicants, making prejudiced comments about race, gender, or religion, inappropriate photos like pictures of drinking alcohol or drug use, negative posts about current or previous jobs, bad language, or unprofessional screen names. So some negative consequences. If you post something unprofessional online, it might hurt you during a job search if a potential employer sees it. Unprofessional means it would not be good to share or talk about at work. Also, if you post something unprofessional online, you could lose a current job as well. However, positive consequences. Sharing online about your job successes can be a good way to help your career and maybe find a new job. Again, a lot of these things have positives and negatives, so it's not all bad. So thieves can have potential negative consequences. So thieves can steal private information from you or from companies and organizations. What information can they steal? Name, phone number, email address, credit cards, and financial information. passwords, social security numbers. If you share sensitive personal or financial information on unsafe websites, thieves could steal your information and use it. If you post pictures while you are on vacation, lots of people will know your house is empty. Thieves might try to rob it. So what can you do to keep your information safe? Be careful what you post on the internet. Things you post on the internet can easily be seen by lots of people, even if you have good privacy settings or delete posts. Use a strong password to protect your private information. So some password tips. Strong passwords include numbers, letters, and special characters like the percentage sign. I get it out yet. Like the percentage sign or the dollar sign. Have a different password for each site, and keep your phone or other devices locked with a passcode. When software companies find security problems, they will send your device an update. Always install updates. These updates have changes that will help protect your information. So these are some true-false statements. Browsing the web, shopping online, and posting on social media are all ways to create a digital footprint. True. Digital footprints can never hurt someone's reputation. False. Yes, some digital footprints can hurt your reputation. Digital footprints are always positive. Not always. There can be some positives that come out of digital footprints, but there can also be some negatives. Visiting websites could create an unintentional digital footprint. True. And information you share online can exist or be found forever. Your browser can track or remember websites you visit in your browsing history. Most employers don't really care about your digital footprint. It is a good idea to investigate your digital footprint before you apply for a new job. True. Digital footprints are important. True. And digital footprints are just a record of your social media accounts. False. And digital footprints are a record of any of your activity that you do online. Okay. Intentional versus unintentional. So we're going to read through this and determine which activities will create an intentional digital footprint and which will create an unintentional digital footprint. Sanjay is an active internet user. He uses the internet on his smartphone and a laptop. Sanjay uses his device a lot for work and for fun. Here is an example of how Sanjay uses the internet during a day. 9 a.m. at work. Sanjay sends a couple of emails to his coworkers about a project. 5:30 p.m. after work. Sanjay spends some time online planning for his trip to see his grandmother in Florida. He uses Google to search for flights to Florida. He also visits some shopping websites to look for new clothes. He needs shorts and sandals for Florida. 6:30 p.m. Sanjay leaves home to go to a baseball game with his friends. He uses the Maps app on his phone to find directions to the baseball stadium. 7:30 p.m. At the baseball game, Sanjay takes pictures of the game and his friends. He posts the pictures on his Facebook page. Okay, so do you have an idea of which of those activities would be intentional versus unintentional? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so intentional. These are the things that Sanjay knows that he's sharing and he means to share them. At work today, Sanjay sends out a couple of emails to his coworkers about a work project. And at the baseball game, Sanjay takes pictures of the game and his friends, and he posts those pictures to his Facebook page. That one can be intentional and unintentional, depending on who all he wants to share that to, or if he wants to keep it more private. Unintentional. Sanjay spends time online planning his trip to see his grandmother in Florida. He's using Google to check out flights to Florida. And he's doing some shopping online, looking for some clothes. So that is an unintentional digital footprint. And then Sanjay leaves home to go to a baseball game, and he's using his Maps app to find the baseball field. So by doing that, other people could see where he went. Okay, so we have a quiz here. What is a browsing history? Is it A, a record of the websites you have visited in the past? B, a device that allows you to move the cursor on your screen? Or C, an intentional digital footprint? That answer will be A. Browsing history is a record of the websites that you have visited. How might Sierra use her social media account to create a positive, intentional digital footprint? A, comment on her friend's posts while she is at work. B, post pictures of her friends volunteering during the weekend. Or C, comment on a picture of someone riding a bike by making a joke. So I'm sure her employer wouldn't be too happy to see her making comments while she's supposed to be working. And just because she thinks it's funny, the person that's riding the bike might not think it's funny. Yeah, I think the most positive answer there is posting pictures of her friends volunteering during the weekend. And what are examples of ways we create an unintentional digital footprint? A, shopping online and visiting websites. B, posting on social media. Or C, writing emails. So unintentional digital footprints are footprints that we don't necessarily intend to put out there. And that answer would be A, shopping online and visiting websites. Okay, finally, do a Google search on yourself, Google your full name, and look at social media accounts you have. What words and pictures are online about you? What is the reputation you want your digital footprint to show? Does your digital footprint show what you want it to? What do you want to change? Some food for thought there. Right. Thank you.